Hey guys, I'm Kadeisha, the founder of the Women in Power Collective, and we are back with another Salon Talks series, and I'm so excited. So, first and foremost, happy Financial Literacy Month. For the girls that know, finances is literally everything when it comes to paving the way in your business. So, we're gonna dive in a little bit into that, but I'm so excited to introduce you to our first guest of the month. And I'm gonna just pass it on right over to her.
Hey y'all, it's Kameron Monet in the internet streets. I'm so excited to be here and chit chats, all things wellness, finances, and career. Okay.
Of course. Okay. So, for those that don't really know much about you or what like you do, I would love for you to give us like a quick, brief, like just walkthrough of like a day in the life.
Oh, a day of the life. Child, where do I begin? So I'm a lawyer, I'm a creator, I'm an entrepreneur. So I wear a lot of hats. So my days look different, but that's my favorite part about what I do is I get the flexibility to really craft this dream life. I always tell people like think of your career goals first and then think of your life goals first and then your career goals. So then you can make sure like your mornings are yours or like your evenings are for friends and family and catch up and relaxing. So honestly, a dream day would look like waking up between 6 and 7 a.m., having time with God, having time with me. Something I've been doing lately is taking time to look at my to-do list before I even jump into the gym. It's a little non-traditional because it's like, I thought you said your mornings are yours. For me, I realize it really gives me clarity throughout the day. So I wake up, pray with God, have time for myself, check my to-do list with my coffee, and head to the gym and work out and before I get ready for the day.
Love it. Okay. So, speaking about your your speaking about your walk in the law or the business world, how did you get started with working with content creators and merging the law background with content creation?
Yeah, it's crazy because thinking back, I didn't even like school, honestly. Law school was not on my radar, but it worked out. Now I'm like, there's no way I could be doing anything else. But in law school, I was a creator already. So I was working with a lot of creators just on like a friend tip. Like, here's a few tips I've learned in law school. I'm like, listen, I'm learning. I don't know nothing, so don't sue me. But this is the information that I'm learning throughout the process. And also, back in 2014 is when I first started my YouTube channel, but 2016 it still wasn't talked about like contracts and money and social media.
It's brand new.
Yeah, it was so hush hush. It was like let's like get into it. But me and my little friend group, we would help each other out and talk about it, and more contracts were actually coming into play. So we're like, okay, how can we utilize the terms to make more money and to make sure we're protected? So by the time I graduated, I did the traditional law thing. I worked in employment litigation, and I was in the office like, there has to be more than this. There has to be. And then I had someone that wasn't a friend was like, hey, how much do you charge? And I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. Yeah. And that's really where it started.
Okay, so your own journey as being a content creator kind of like also ignited you to want to work alongside other content creators.
Absolutely.
But merge the law.
Absolutely. It was the perfect way to like live the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think that's so unique and it's needed right now, especially because as we were saying, there's not a lot of information out there about like content creation. It's a brand new field, you know? So basically helping other creators have more structure with their business
absolutely
is such a big deal.
Major.
So I commend that.
Thank you.
So what would you say is like a moment in your career that you knew that what you were doing was needed and necessary to create structures for other content creators?
Oh, I love that. I've never been asked that actually. It wasn't even the moment that I realized I can get paid for providing the services that I do with like contract revision, negotiation strategies. That really wasn't the moment. I would say a little bit more recently when I've gotten creators that I don't follow, that I literally didn't even know, start to come to me and find me and say, hey, like I saw your TikTok where you just said, hey, these are 3 contract no's or whatever the case may be, or red flags, green flags. And I'm like, okay, so there's not just my little community of people that I know that need help. It's much bigger than that.
Absolutely.
And I started to realize, okay, there's something here. It's more than just help me with my contracts, help me with negotiating. It's like, how can I educate creators to be more proactive rather than reactive? Because a lot of lawyers were reactive, right? We're like, hey, let's go to court. Let's file the complaint.
Yeah.
But in this industry, that's just not the case. They really need to be educated, and that's where I'm trying to fill the gap.
Awesome. I love that. So how can content creators and influencers like negotiate, and like how do we know the prices? Like, how do we know how to
tea.
charge? You know, like, what is the tea behind that?
Girl, okay, so the gag is there really is no set rate. And I feel like that feels really uncomfortable. I know there's a lot of creators that are like, we need a union, we need set rates.
Yeah,
and
that's a smart idea.
part of me is like, okay, I can understand that because it would help newer creators or even some OG creators that are like, girl, I don't want to think about that. But the con is there are so many factors that go into the rate. It comes down to like your own degree, if you have a specialty, if you have a family, if you hire a team, or are you playing every single role? Do you have a specialty? Are you a professional videographer and you're providing this high quality service? How long you've been in the industry and things of that nature. There's so many factors that I would hate to limit a creator on how much they can charge just based off this is the industry standard.
Yeah.
But generally, always start higher. Give the high scary number.
Good.
We have a gut reaction, especially as women, okay? But we have a gut reaction where we're like, this is probably how much I would like to charge, but then we never say it. Just say it. The worst that can happen is they say no, or 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, how about this price? And then you give them another price. But for example, let's say your price is $5,000. Don't tell them $5,000. Tell them 7, tell them 8. So then you have a little bit of room to come down and you may be surprised. They might say 8.
Like that. That's a great strategy across the board.
Yeah, in any industry.
Start up high, exactly.
Yeah.
So for people that maybe have managers but doesn't have like lawyers as content creators, would you say that both roles are equal? Can you have a manager without a lawyer? Does a lawyer trump having a manager, with sometimes you might not even need to have a manager? It's just like having an attorney and maybe an assistant. So what would be a recommendation for like a content creator that doesn't yet have a lawyer?
That's a great question. I think it really depends on your priorities and what's your capacity. A lot of times creators get managers at the point where, one, they aren't getting opportunities and they think the management can help them. That's usually not the best. Or they are getting so much input that they can't manage it themselves. Maybe they have an assistant that's overwhelmed, or they're like, I don't even know if these brands are legit, but I'm getting hundreds of thousands of emails, or even just 10 emails a day can be a lot if you are a creator and you're trying to stay in your expertise and just create, right? I'm trying to keep up with the trends
because it's a business.
Girl, it's
and
so
I think
much
that's
to
what
do.
You do is like that, like the business with the creative part.
Exactly.
That's where you come in.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it just depends, but making that decision is going to depend on how you want to run your business. Like, do you want to offload all of it and give it to a manager? Or do you want to make sure, hey, I can handle the inbox, but I want to hire a lawyer to make sure I'm protected?
Yes.
Because some of these managers don't have that expertise. And that's just the unfortunate nature of the industry right now.
Right. Okay, so that's good. So what are some legal steps influencers can take to protect their personal brands?
Okay, first off, hire me, not just like. But honestly, it comes down to something simple. Is the first thing is actually read the contracts. You would be surprised. I mean, we've all been there. The terms and conditions come up and I'm like, child, accept. I'm just trying to get this app downloaded, baby. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Are there like platforms that people can use to just like read
literally
through
take
contracts?
Yes. AI is great. And I'm not against AI. A lot of people are like, lawyers don't like AI. I'm like, no, it's such a benefit. It is a tool. It's not a replacement because a lot of times AI isn't correct, but it does give you a little bit of leverage if you know how to ask the right prompts and things like that. But reading your contract, looking for just major things like, what does the termination say? What is the payment terms? When are you getting paid? How much are you getting paid? Does the context of the contract reflect what was discussed in the email? Why are they adding this extra stuff that wasn't discussed? Is exclusivity right? All of the terms. So making sure that you understand the contract would be like number one. I would say number one.
A lot of people breeze through contracts in general, and that's where we kind of get messed up. Is because we are looking through it, skimming. We're like, okay, we're so excited. Let's just sign this deal, God. And then we miss the important parts that bind us to certain things that we didn't agree to.
That's it. So and then you're shocked later and you hit me up and I'm like, girl, I tried to tell you, please.
Right, but you need me.
But read the contract, major key, and always have a way out of the contract too. It's probably really important. I hate to say it, but a lot of times, like if a brand sends a contract to a creator, they're gonna have a way out of the termination, but the creator doesn't. And let's say that brand gets into a scandal. Now guess who can't get out of their contract? Exactly. Now you blasted all over the internet like their spokesperson when really you want to get out of the contract, but you literally can't.
Wow. So I know that you are also a business owner. So how are you navigating being a business owner and miss like being a lawyer, being a content creator, and how are you merging entrepreneurship and business as far as law like together?
Yeah, honestly, it's hard, but I think because there's so much overlap with what I do, like my business, I just launched an app. It's called Social Dialogue, where we're here. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Give my
yes.
flowers.
Founder.
But thank you. It's hard. It's challenging. I also own a consulting firm. That was like my first baby out of law, like not out of law school, but once I quit the firm to help creators with their contracts. And they all kind of overlap. The app is really focused on education. The consulting firm is more one-on-one, personalized experience. And it really just comes down to routines. And sometimes I just have to set the boundaries, say no to some stuff, say yes to some stuff, and making sure that I time block my schedule. I'm really big on like, if I'm here, I'm here. Outside of that, I already know what the blocks are going to look like for the rest of the day. So I can have time to pour into me to make sure I can pour into others.
100%. How do you decide what you say yes and what you say no on?
Okay, goals.
Okay.
Does it align with what my goal is? I'm big on quarterly goals. That also saved my life.
That is a thing for
Girl.
entrepreneurs. You kind of have to break it down into increments.
I learned the
throughout
hard way.
year.
The first year I was like, I'm gonna have goals at the end of the year. I got to the end of the year. I said, oh my God, the goals looking at me. I'm looking at them. Hey, goals, girl. It was a mess. So I actually read a book. It's called 12-week year or 12-week work year, something like that. 12-week year, where basically it's like quarterly goals. Because it feels like you get 4 years into 1 year because you have 4 quarters. So if you set goals like, okay, for 3 months, I'm going to just focus on, X, Y, Z, you're more likely to get it done. So that's what I try to do with my business, with my team. We all kind of check in and make sure that we're in alignment.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like we should break it down to small increments and set goals, smaller goals throughout the year. Yeah.
And it helps you stay motivated, because sometimes you're like, I'm not getting anything done because maybe
You got
the
to
thing,
pivot.
girl, pivoting. That's the T.
That is. But that's a constant thing for business owners is the pivot. You have to be able to perfect that.
You got to read what's going on and then change it.
Exactly.
And not get too attached to how you think it's going to play out. Even if the goal is going to get accomplished, sometimes you can't get attached to the journey of how to get there. Yeah.
I'm literally learning the art of detachment, and I feel like it definitely applies across the board.
Look at alignment, timing. Yeah, it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's definitely important though, so that way we're not like tied to a certain outcome.
That's it.
We have room. We leave room for more opportunities and more things, bigger and better even from what we envisioned.
That's it. Because sometimes we hold ourselves back because we're like, oh, we want this, and it's like, I had something better.
God has something better.
Something bigger and better. Always. Yeah.
So I want to get into your own wellness routines and your own wellness habits, because on Salon Talks we dive into the holistic approach to being a woman of value, being a woman that's in business, and it's important that we tend to our overall self-care as well.
Absolutely.
So what would you say is some tips and strategies you're doing and you found useful as far as like balancing being a woman that's on the go as well as an intentional woman who takes time to prioritize your own joy?
Okay, this is so important. We were kind of talking offline, but wellness and entrepreneurship go hand in hand.
It does.
You're a better version of yourself in business when you pour into yourself. That's just the reality of it. A lot of what we do, all entrepreneurs in all niches, it's a service job. So we have nothing to give. Your business is going to be dehydrated, okay? That's just what it is. Something that I do is like, do not disturb is my friend. My phone 99.9%.
I didn't get onto it till like literally.
Oh girl, my friends hate to see it, but hey, baby, I said what I said. It just allows me the flexibility to decide when I want to be notified, because we're constantly like in need as a business owner. Like somebody needs this, we need to make this, it gives me a little bit of that control back. And no, I can't control everything, but I can control where my time is and who has it. So that's really helpful. My mornings are my mornings, kind of like I mentioned earlier. I need those mornings. They're mine. I don't have to answer no emails. I release myself from that.
Yes.
I just focus on me and what I need to do to prepare for work. And then taking time to talk to people that aren't in my business helps. Like my mom, she'd be like, girl, hey, what's going on? We just chit chat, and it's really filling to know like sometimes we get so caught up in our business and caught up in our life and our goals that we forget like life is still happening outside of this.
Life is still happening.
Yeah.
And what I hear is that community is important for you.
So important.
And it's literally a part of our like wellness journey is by having people around us that pour into us.
That's it.
Being in service, as you know, we're constantly pouring into other people.
Yes.
So how important is community to you? And I know you just moved.
Yeah.
So you're building your own community as well in real time. So how has that been going for you?
Good. Overwhelming in the best way. Realizing that everyone's seeking community, and knowing that community can look different in different friend groups and different phases at different events, and people pour into everybody differently. So knowing, okay, hey, sometimes I gotta go to this friend group for that, or sometimes I gotta go to this friend for that. Sometimes I gotta say no to this person because, child, I can't do it today. So just being open and honest and vulnerable and transparent really has helped me. But to me, community is absolutely like first priority.
I love that.
Yeah.
So when you say like saying no, right? I want to segue into
not too much.
So when it comes to what personal strategies help you to set boundaries, right? With brands and social media. So saying no when it needs to be, when it needs to be done. Like, how do you know?
I think what helps me is releasing the reaction of the no that I give. I'm big on therapy, okay, period. I'm all for therapy. And that's something that I learned. It wasn't that I was afraid to say no, I was afraid of the reaction I would get when I can't control that. People that care about me, that know me, that love me, that understand where I'm coming from are going to receive it better than people that aren't. So, and I can control either way. So knowing that the no isn't a negative, it's just a matter of fact, has really helped me just know when to say no. And again, it comes back to like my goals. Like maybe I'm in a position where I'm just not able to handle that because I'm in the middle of a launch or whatever the case may be, and it's a no right now. But that's not a not ever. Exactly. It's a no today. Let's get on the calendar. Let's do something else.
Yeah, and it's like not what we're saying. It's like how we say it. How we deliver the no. You know?
Exactly.
Not right now.
I'm not like, girl, you better get. It's like, no, girl, let's.
Yeah,
not today.
Not today.
Not today.
So I think that's beautiful, and definitely, I'm not sure if you're a girl in your 30s.
I am 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like now entering like for me into like the early 30s, both of us, having those strong boundaries is so important.
Oh gosh,
and like
it's number
really
one.
A peace of mind.
I can't do it. I'd be like, get somebody else, please. No.
You
I love saying
to.
no. It's great. But the more you realize that no equals a yes somewhere else, the more no's you're going to give. If it's not an absolute yes, it's probably a no. We just, I don't want to be mean to,
Yeah. You got to also know, the other thing is knowing how to take the no as well.
Oh, now that's tea. Now we're not talking about that. We're talking about that. That's different. No.
How do you process the no's when you do get that?
Man, it's tough. And I think it's kind of like we said, like getting detached from like the outcome and what we think it's going to be and how we think it's going to feel, and knowing that the no is just closing that door because it's here to open another one. And like my life motto is what's for me is for me. So for me, if I don't get something, I feel it because I'm human, But naturally, I'm like, it literally wasn't meant for me. Yeah. Because what is for me, I'm going to get. I have no question about that. So if I don't get an opportunity, it could be a not right now, or it could be like, thank you, God, for saving me from something. I don't know what's on the other side of that.
That rejection be protection.
Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah. Instagram caption. Come on now.
Literally. So before we go,
okay,
I want to know what's 3 self-care tips for content creators to remain grounded. I know that being a content creator, a lot of your time is just spent like on social media, in work mode. You're out, you're maybe getting your nails done, you're probably doing like a pampering moment, and you're thinking about like, oh my gosh, this would be great content.
Girl.
So how do you like have that balance, and how do you remain grounded like on a day-to-day being a content creator?
3 ways to remain grounded. 1, community. I know we mentioned it, but it just, that is what it is. When you really enjoy your life online and offline, you got to have a strong community to be able to do that. So, and also be okay with being with yourself. Like some people just don't like to be around themselves, but it's like no matter where you go, there you are. So you have to be comfortable with yourself and your community. So that is one way to be grounded, is making sure that you like your life offline. The second thing would be, use that block button. I don't know why there's a stigma on it. Bippity boppity block. I'm gonna block you. This is crazy. This is my house. I read somewhere or something years ago, there was a creator that was like, imagine someone coming to your house, pointing out your couch and saying, I don't like that, and then you selling it just because they said that. That's how it is when you allow someone to come on your platform to disrespect you. And then you start to change, and you start to feel you blocked. You in my house. Girl, you better go. Blocked. You're blocked. So it's okay, and that really helps you enjoy your community you've created online. Like it should be a safe space. Now it is the internet, right? But overall, block people if you need to. The third thing would be, everything doesn't need to be content. I know we are like, everything is content. Yes. But also, there are moments where I'm like, oh, this would be dope to pull out my camera, but how beautiful it is for me to be in the moment.
To be present.
To be present. And most of the time, we have enough content in our backlog that we don't have to film exactly every single moment. Or take 2 seconds. It doesn't need to be the entire thing. Take 2 seconds, get the film, and have a seat.
Especially if you're on a trip or you're out.
Yes,
and it's
enjoy
I just
it.
want to enjoy the scenery.
And recaps are cool. I listen to creators where they're like, I didn't film this, but let me tell you what happened. Like, and then you can get your storytelling back. So there's ways to share it without sharing it in the moment.
I love that. And I'll say this before you go. as far as like the algorithm right now, from a consumer standpoint, I'm not a digital creator at the moment or anything like that. I do like taking a cute picture here and there.
Period.
But I hear it from a lot of people as well that the algorithm right now is very noisy.
Ooh.
And you know, when it comes to the things like, let's say we desire the most, we kind of see it pop up on our feeds, you know, or like on the explore pages. And it kind of makes you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something, or like I'm comparing. What can someone do to like navigate that and still remain mentally sane, you know, while being either a participant or someone that has social media for a job?
I'll admit I mute people. Friends, creators I love. There's seasons where it's like I find myself comparing and I have to mute them. It's all love. It's just that for me, I'm not able to consume this type of content as a consumer or as a creator. So I'll mute them. And then it's funny because then like a week later I'll be like, I ain't see her stuff. And then I'll unmute her. So really taking control of your platform, just like the blog, just like the mute, taking control of the platform and your space that you're creating online is so important. And knowing like everything you see isn't what you see.
Yes, it's created content.
It is created content. And a lot of it can be true, but it doesn't mean it's the entire picture. So get offline, touch some grass, enjoy your real life, and know that, creation is entertainment, and it's nice to consume, and it's inspiring, and it's motivating, but your life is so much better. I promise.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So thank you. This was a great talk. So Kameron, where can everyone follow you and find you?
Okay, little shameless plug. So y'all can follow me everywhere at Kameron Monet. It's Kameron with a K. Okay, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. LinkedIn really is a thing now. It is. Okay, creators are making money. Okay, we didn't even get into that. Okay, we might have to come back. Okay, but if you do want to work with me one-on-one, check out Social Docket Dialogue. I'm so excited. We launch. I don't know when this is coming out, but we launch in April, so I'm really excited. Join the wait list. We're going to be giving everything we can in one app for creators. It's going to be an educational platform first. We're going to do like in-person events, master classes, weekly videos, you name it. It's just really going to be a safe space for creators to also build community, because we have a community tab. So we can really spill the tea about what's going on in the creator economy. So definitely follow me there.
I love that. And we just launched a membership program, so maybe we'll have access to some of your services on our platform as well, so that way they can take advantage. So we'll talk. But bye for now. Go well.